Chosen one, lean in for a moment, because what I'm about to say will feel less like a message and more like a memory your soul has been trying to whisper back to you. There is a reason you're here right now, in this exact moment. A reason this message found you in a sea of millions. A reason your heart is beating a little differently as you read these words. Destiny has a way of arranging encounters long before our minds understand them. And this is one of those moments. Your delays, detours, and interruptions were divine shields. But you already feel that, don't you? You can sense that something has been happening behind the scenes of your life. Something you couldn't name, something you couldn't see, but something you could feel. Every time you were pushed away from a person who didn't value you, every time a plan collapsed before it could betray you, every time a door slammed shut when you were desperate for it to open. Chosen one, that wasn't rejection, that was protection. And yet, in the quiet hours of your life, you've asked the same questions over and over. Why me? Why this path? Why does it feel like I'm constantly being redirected? What am I being prepared for? You've carried confusion like a weight on your chest, thinking you were losing when in reality, the universe was saving you, saving your mind, saving your energy, saving your purpose, saving your future self from battles you were never meant to fight. Protection doesn't always look like blessings. It looks like inconvenience. It looks like being slowed down so your spirit doesn't break. It looks like being pulled away from what you wanted so you can be aligned with what you deserve. And chosen one, before we go deeper, pause for a moment, hit subscribe, and comment, "I received this," if your spirit is already responding. Because this message is about to speak directly to you in a way you've been waiting for. Right now, something in you is waking up, a recognition, a spiritual echo, a quiet knowing that this isn't random. This is revelation. For so long, you thought you were walking through darkness alone. But the truth is that unseen hands have been guiding every step, rerouting every danger, and shielding you from people and paths that would have destroyed the very destiny you're being called into. This message is a turning point, a divine reminder, a curtain being lifted. By the time you finish hearing this, you will understand why everything had to unfold exactly as it did, and what the universe has been protecting you from all along. Take a breath, chosen one. A hidden truth is about to be revealed. Chosen one, let your spirit settle for a moment, because what we are about to explore is something your soul has felt for years, but never had the language to describe. Spiritual protection, not the dramatic, cinematic kind you see in stories, but the soft, quiet, almost invisible kind that moves beneath the surface of your life. The kind that whispers instead of shouts, redirects instead of forcing, and shields you gently long before you realize you needed shielding. Have you ever wondered why certain things didn't work out, even when you wanted them desperately? Why something inside you tightened, hesitated, or pulled you back without explanation? Why certain seasons felt like stillness instead of progress? These weren't coincidences. They were signals. Spiritual protection rarely announces itself. It feels like intuition telling you, "Not here." It feels like tiredness urging you to slow down. It feels like a sudden change of plans that frustrates you in the moment, but saves you in the long run. It feels like being delayed by 5 minutes, only to realize later that those 5 minutes kept you away from something harmful. Sometimes it feels like the universe placing a gentle hand on your shoulder and saying, "Wait, not yet, not this way." And chosen one, how many times have you ignored these signs, only to look back and realize your spirit was right all along? You see, your spiritual vision can only see a few steps ahead, but the universe sees the entire battlefield. The traps, the detours, the intentions of people around you, the ripple effects of every choice. And because you carry a calling, because your purpose is too important to be corrupted or derailed, you are protected in ways you don't even recognize. Chosen soul, have you ever felt like something stopped you just in time? Like an unseen force pulled you away from a room, a person, a decision? That was more than intuition. That was preservation. That was the divine refusing to let your destiny be compromised. Protection doesn't always come dressed as blessings or answered prayers. Sometimes it shows up as disappointment. Sometimes it feels like loneliness. Sometimes it feels like uncertainty. But behind that discomfort, there is precision. Behind the confusion, there is orchestration. Behind the pause, there is purpose. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. You are not being held back. You are being held safe. And if you listen closely, you will notice that every delay, every redirection, every no you received was actually a hidden yes to your future. Chosen one, the universe has been rearranging your path in ways you never saw. Conversations were redirected. Opportunities were quietly blocked. The wrong people drifted away, not because you weren't worthy, but because your spirit was too precious to be mishandled. Your steps have been aligned with a care so delicate that even your confusion was part of your protection. Have you ever noticed how something within you refuses to settle in the wrong places? How your spirit becomes restless when you're about to step into something that isn't aligned? That's not weakness, that's guidance. And maybe, just maybe, if you look back at your life right now, you'll begin to see the pattern, the things that didn't happen, the roads you didn't take, the doors that didn't open, the moments you didn't understand at the time. You'll realize that unseen forces have been working tirelessly to shield you from the people, energies, and experiences that would have dimmed your light before it even had the chance to shine. So, chosen one, ask yourself, what if everything that felt like a delay was actually divine timing? What if everything that felt like a setback was actually a shield? What if you've been protected more than you've ever been rejected? Because the truth is, you have, and you still are. Chosen one, take a breath, because this part of your journey requires honesty, softness, and the courage to revisit moments you once misunderstood. Think back to every plan you held tightly, every dream you mapped out, every door you prayed would open, every path you thought was the right one. Now remember how it felt when those plans crumbled. The disappointment, the confusion, the silent nights where you asked, why didn't it work? What did I do wrong? But what if you didn't do anything wrong? What if the collapse was protection, not punishment? What if the universe stepped in gently and said, not this, not here, not with them? Every failed plan was a divine interception. You may not have recognized it at the time because loss disguises itself as heartbreak, frustration, or stagnation. But chosen one, have you ever looked back at something you once begged for and whispered, thank God that didn't work? That's the wisdom of hindsight, revealing the truth your spirit sensed long before your mind understood. This is the moment where you realize the universe has never taken anything from you, only replaced what was too small, too temporary, or too dangerous for your destiny. When opportunities slipped away, it wasn't because you were unworthy, it was because the environment wasn't prepared to hold someone like you. Some rooms weren't ready for your depth. Some people weren't capable of honoring your heart. Some timelines would have drained your energy, drained your purpose, or drained your identity. And chosen one, you deserve more than places that would have broken you slowly. Ask yourself, how many times have you been spared a longer pain by a short-term disappointment? A paused journey is not a denied destiny. Sometimes your plans fell through because the path you were choosing would have diverted you from your calling. Even the timing matters. You might have had the right dream at the wrong season, the right intention with the wrong person, the right idea with the wrong level of spiritual maturity. The universe knows what you're being prepared for, and it also knows who and what cannot go with you into that future. Protection often looks like delay because your spirit needs more strength, your vision needs more clarity, and your heart needs more healing before stepping into the next chapter. Chosen one, think about the sudden endings you never saw coming, the friendships that dissolved, the relationships that collapsed, the opportunities that slipped right out of your hands. You thought you were losing something essential, but in reality, you were being redirected away from burdens that would have suffocated your growth. You were being spared years of emotional damage, spiritual confusion, or unbalanced energy. How many battles did you avoid simply because a plan didn't work out the way you imagined? Nothing that fell apart was ever meant to carry your destiny. If it was meant for you, it would have stayed steady. It would have strengthened you instead of draining you. It would have aligned with your soul, not disrupted it. What breaks under pressure was never meant to hold the weight of your purpose. What walks away was never meant to walk with you. What collapses was never meant to build your future. So, chosen one, instead of asking, why did this fall apart? Perhaps the real question is, what was the universe saving me from? And deeper still, what greater path was I being guided toward? Because every closed door, every failed plan, and every unexpected ending was the universe saying, I have something far more aligned, far more sacred, and far more worthy waiting for you. Chosen one. This part may touch a tender place in your heart because it asks you to revisit the people you once loved, trusted, or envisioned a future with. It asks you to look again at the faces that were once close to you but are no longer walking beside you. And as you do, I want you to breathe deeply because what felt personal was never personal. It was spiritual. The universe saw conversations you didn't hear. It sensed intentions you couldn't detect. It recognized energies your heart was too pure, too loyal, too hopeful to see clearly. So when people were removed from your path, suddenly, painfully, or quietly, that was not abandonment. That was a divine extraction. There were individuals whose presence would have drained your spirit, but their charm blinded you. There were souls who admired your light, but secretly envied it. There were connections that felt comforting, but would have eventually become cages. In Chosen One, have you ever wondered why some departures were so abrupt? Why someone you trusted shifted overnight? Why certain relationships crumbled without a clear explanation? This wasn't chaos. This wasn't coincidence. This was the universe stepping in at the exact moment your spirit became endangered. Sometimes the divine removes what you refuse to release. Some hearts were not capable of holding you. Some minds were not ready to understand you. Some souls were not aligned with your calling. And if they had stayed, they would have slowed your evolution, poisoned your peace, or redirected you from your purpose. The universe will often clear the path long before it reveals where that path is leading. And Chosen One, the people who left you were not meant to damage your identity. They were removed to protect it. Think about the friendships that faded, the connections that diluted, the relationships that cracked under pressure. You tried to repair some of them. You tried to stay loyal. You tried to give chance after chance. But Chosen One, have you noticed that no matter how hard you tried, something simply wouldn't hold? That's because the universe will not bless anything or anyone that threatens your destiny. If someone was meant to walk with you into your next chapter, they would have grown with you. They would have elevated with you. They would have matched your honesty, your effort, your spiritual depth. But their spirit was no longer compatible with the vibration you were rising into. And yes, it hurt. Losing people hurts even when it's necessary. But the pain was temporary, while the protection was permanent. You weren't losing relationships. You were losing interference. You weren't losing companionship. You were losing spiritual misalignment. You weren't being punished. You were being purified. The universe removed what your future couldn't carry. So Chosen One, ask yourself, who left so your spirit could breathe again? Who disappeared so your purpose could unfold? Who exited so that peace could finally enter? When you reflect from a higher perspective, you'll see that every departure created space for clarity, elevation, and healing. You'll realize that your path wasn't being emptied. It was being cleared. Because the truth is simple but powerful. What felt like loss was actually liberation. And what felt like abandonment was the universe guiding you closer to who you're becoming, and further away from what was never meant for you. Chosen One, this part of your journey goes deeper than memory, deeper than intuition, deeper than anything you can consciously recall. Because now we are stepping into the realm of what didn't happen, the accidents that never occurred, the disasters that never touched you, the dangers that were inches away but never crossed your path. These are the moments your soul cannot remember, but your spirit has always felt. The times when something delayed you for no reason, when your keys went missing, when you turned down a different street, when you suddenly felt tired, uneasy, or pulled in another direction. Have you ever wondered why those moments felt oddly significant, even if they didn't make sense at the time? There were invisible battles happening around you that you were never meant to see. Sometimes the universe protects you in ways so subtle, so delicate, that you only realize it years later, or never at all. You might have called it luck, or timing, or coincidence. But chosen one, what if it was divine intervention? What if your spirit was being guided out of harm's way long before your mind noticed the danger? What if every small inconvenience was actually a shield? Think about the close calls, the times you crossed the street moments before something happened, or moments after. The times you left a place early because something felt off. The times plans were canceled last minute and you felt disappointed, only to later understand that you avoided a situation that would have drained or harmed you. Chosen one, can you feel the truth of this? Can you sense how many unseen protections have surrounded you? There were harmful environments you were never meant to enter. Rooms where your spirit would have been dimmed, people whose energy would have corrupted your peace, situations that would have left scars deeper than you could handle. And yet something always stopped you. A delay, a shift, a sudden feeling, a message, a thought, a force moving quietly but decisively on your behalf. You may never know how close the danger was, but your soul knows it was close enough. Divine timing is not just about receiving blessings, it's also about avoiding harm. There were moments when the universe slowed you down, not to frustrate you, but to save your life. Moments when intuition whispered at the exact second you needed to pause, breathe, or turn around. Moments when your spirit felt resistance, discomfort, or hesitation for reasons you couldn't articulate. Have you ever felt that strange inner no, even when everything looked fine on the surface? That was protection. That was the divine stepping between you and what could have wounded you. The delays you hated, the plans that shifted, the days that didn't go as expected. These weren't obstacles. They were protective walls. They were spiritual barriers placed between you and unseen harm. The universe will block your path when necessary, even if it means confusing your mind to protect your spirit. And chosen one, think for a moment. How many times did something inconvenience you only for you to later realize it saved you from something far worse? There is a reason your story didn't end where danger tried to reach you. There is a reason you survived things you never even knew were happening. There is a reason you are still here, still breathing, still rising. You have been protected in ways beyond your awareness, guarded with a care so intentional that even your smallest steps were rerouted away from harm. So chosen one, ask yourself gently, what if every interruption was a rescue? What if every delay was a blessing? What if you've been divinely shielded your entire life? Because the truth is, you have been, and you still are. Chosen one, this part requires a quiet mind and an open spirit, because now we're stepping into the realm of dangers you never saw, threats you never recognized, and energies you were never supposed to absorb. Not all danger looks like danger. Sometimes it arrives with a smile, with opportunity, with familiarity, or even with comfort. But beneath the surface, beneath the softness, beneath the illusion, there were consequences waiting for you, consequences that could have altered your spirit, your peace, your identity, your destiny. And without you even realizing it, the universe placed invisible barriers around you to keep you from stepping into harm disguised as safety. There were people who appeared harmless, but carried intentions that would have drained you emotionally or spiritually. There were opportunities that looked exciting, but would have pulled you into environments that fed on your energy instead of nurturing it. There were situations you almost said yes to, situations that would have tangled you in manipulation, jealousy, or spiritual confusion. Chosen one, have you ever noticed how something inside you suddenly withdrew from a person or an invitation without any logical reason? How your spirit shut down even when your mind couldn't explain why? That was protection. That was your inner warning system. That was the universe whispering, not this one, not here. Some dangers come softly. They come through the wrong friendships, the wrong invitations, the wrong collaborations, the wrong dreams presented at the wrong time. They come through people who see your light and want to feed off it. through environments that demand your peace without giving anything back, through energies that appear warm but carry shadows beneath their surface. In Chosen One, your spirit recognized these vibrations long before your eyes could see them. That unexplained discomfort, that sudden shift in your mood, that moment where you felt uncertain for no visible reason, that was your divine compass pulling you away from hidden harm. Isolation was not a punishment, it was a shield. There were seasons where you felt alone, misunderstood, or disconnected from others. You wondered why friendships faded, why invitations stopped coming, why you felt distant from the world around you. But Chosen One, have you considered that isolation kept you safe from influences that weren't meant to shape you? The universe separated you so nothing could contaminate your growth, your identity, or your destiny. Your quiet seasons were protection, not rejection. They were the universe, sheltering your spirit from energies that would have drained the very life force you needed for your purpose. Confusion was not a curse. It was redirection. Every time something didn't make sense, every time you felt torn, every time clarity disappeared, it was because the universe was pulling you out of alignment with something harmful. When your spirit can't settle into something, it's not failure, it's discernment. In Chosen One, how many times have you later realized that something you were confused about was something you were never meant to step into? Distance was not coldness, it was divine distance. You were pulled away from certain circles, certain habits, certain desires, and even certain versions of yourself. Because those paths would have placed you in spiritual danger. They would have dimmed your vision, weakened your boundaries, or entangled you in karmic cycles you were never meant to repeat. So let me ask you gently, how many heartbreaks did you avoid without even knowing? How many traps did your spirit sidestep? How many energies did you escape before they had the chance to wound you? You may never fully understand the scope of what you were protected from, but the feeling in your spirit tells you it was real. Chosen One, you weren't just saved from visible danger, you were shielded from invisible harm. The universe guarded your path, your peace, and your purpose. And even now it continues to guide you away from what isn't aligned with your destiny, ensuring that no hidden danger can dim the light you were born to carry. Chosen One, this final revelation invites you to soften your heart, relax your shoulders, and look back over your life with a new kind of vision. A spiritual vision, a higher vision, a wiser vision. Because when you truly pause and reflect, you begin to see the invisible threads that have been weaving your story together with breathtaking precision. You begin to understand that nothing arrived late, nothing arrived early. Everything, every person, every opportunity, every lesson, every blessing came exactly when your soul was ready to receive it. That is divine timing, and divine timing is not just coordination. It is protection, love, and orchestration beyond human understanding. Chosen One, have you ever noticed how something you prayed for didn't arrive when you expected, but when it finally came, it arrived at the perfect moment? Why do you think that is? Why do you think the universe held it back? Because you needed experiences first. You needed growth first. You needed wisdom first. You needed strength first, not to punish you, but to prepare you. If certain blessings had entered your life too soon, they would have become burdens instead of gifts. If certain connections had arrived earlier, you wouldn't have been able to recognize their value. If certain doors had opened in the wrong season, they would have overwhelmed you instead of elevating you. Divine timing means the universe is aware of what your spirit can handle. And Chosen One, look back for a moment. Truly look. Can you see how delays protected you? How interruptions redirected you? How endings cleared space for new beginnings? The timing you once questioned is now the timing you're grateful for. All those moments you felt behind, you were actually being aligned. All those seasons where nothing moved, something powerful was being built within you. You weren't late, you were becoming. Gratitude becomes easier when you realize that the universe has never been against you. It has always been guiding you toward the version of yourself that could hold your destiny without collapsing under its weight. Every pause was purposeful. Every slow season was sacred. Every silence was preparation. And chosen one, does it comfort you to know that even in your darkest moments, the universe was still arranging your next breakthrough? When you honor divine timing, you begin to release the pressure to control everything. You begin to soften into trust. You begin to understand that the universe sees farther than you do, cares deeper than you know, and protects more fiercely than you realize. You learn to say, if it didn't happen yet, it's because something better is still aligning. You learn to surrender the rush. You learn to embrace the flow. You learn to rest in the knowing that your path is unfolding exactly as it should. Chosen one, gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a spiritual alignment. When you choose gratitude for divine timing, you step into harmony with the universe itself. You begin to see that every chapter served a purpose, even the painful ones. You begin to honor the pauses instead of fearing them. You begin to trust the redirections instead of fighting them. You begin to appreciate the endings because now you understand they were always making space for beginnings. So let me ask you gently, what are you now grateful for that once hurt you? What makes